had an interesting story I wanted to tell yesterday, so I'll tell it today. Get the show started. Is that I ran into a guy shopping Monday night, and I was in the grocery store, and this guy comes up to me. He says, "I grew up in Seneca, Kansas." And I went, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I lived out by the Nemaha County Lake." And I said, "Oh," he says, "You know where that is?" I said, "Well, yeah, I guess so." I said, "Julius's." And he says, "You know, that reminds me of a story." Now, you've heard me talk about Julius's, I think. The place where, years ago when I was like a freshman in high school, I went in and with Pig and Possum and Bruce Stagner, and went and sat in the booth and, ordered a beer. And, of course, Bertha served us. And, she said, "Now, you boys old enough?" And we'd always heard, "Just reach for your wallet." And we did, of course. And Bertha said, "Just as long as you got it," because she was going to get her draft card. As long as you got your draft card with you, that's all I wanted to know. So this guy tells me the story, and out of the blue, what's the chances? I'm over in Bethesda, and here this guy is from Seneca, and he just happened to grow up just a few miles from Tango Town. Julius Tangman was the fellow's name, and his wife Bertha. And so he tells a story of how him and his brother rode in there, and the brother, I think, was like 15 and he was 13. And they went in and sat down at the bar, and Julius was there, and they thought, "Well, what the heck, that's pretty good, so we'll just go ahead and get ourselves a beer." And they ordered a beer, and of course Julius served them right up. But they rode home and on their bikes. Hey,
he got a DWB?
Yeah, this is Kansas back in the 50s.
That's a BWI.
Let me tell you what, 70 years before this event that I'm talking about at Julius's, there was like 60 million head of buffalo out there, all right? So, the law was just catching up with the land.
It's a little bit delayed.
The law was just catching up with the land. So anyway, he tells me that Julius served them their beer, they drank their beer, and of course, like any kid would, they're going, "Pooh, that was pretty cool. We just got away with getting a beer on Julius." Julius called her dad before they got home and said, "By the way, just want to know the boys who were in here, I gave them a beer." So it kind of ruined everything for him.
Oh,
so,
man.
That was a great story. I'm sitting here in this store, and this guy's talking about some trade, and all of a sudden he's talking about Julius. And what are the odds you run into somebody that connects to your childhood and some of the things you used to do back there? It was just a great moment.